Have you ever caught yourself wondering if your parenting style might be doing more harm than good? It's a tough question, but many moms struggle with recognizing those subtle signs of toxicity in their own behavior, myself included. I recently did a video on toxic behavior with your adult child, but let's keep an open mind, right? And consider that possibly some of the things maybe you have done or maybe still are, that they have affected your kids. And so this is not to blame you for what is going on with your estrangement, but as you all know, I don't take sides. I like to look at both sides of things to make sure that everyone is being accountable for their actions, right? For their part. We all play a part in every single relationship, not just as with our kids. So I know it's a challenge that many moms face, like I said, and recognizing that potentially harmful behaviors, whether in the past or maybe you're still doing it, that they have affected our kids. And like I said, myself included, because you may see yourself in some of these that I'm going to list, but some very likely don't apply to you. I just want you to know that I am very full aware of this. This isn't, like I said, to blame you or to blame your child. I just want to dive into these because I think they're really important. Let us start also by remembering what the word toxic really means, okay? In this sense, it means someone who brings conflict and negativity to your life. This toxic person is often controlling, manipulative, and even abusive. That is a definition of a toxic person. And remember, I always separate the behavior from the person, and that goes for you too, not just your child. Because toxicity isn't always a blatant issue. Sometimes it's really subtle. It's a subtle behavior that could have been harmful, right? Such as passive aggressiveness. That's a big one, even for moms. Guilt tripping or constant negativity. Maybe you were a mom that was going through a divorce. Maybe you were a single mom. Maybe you were a mom that was dealing with their own childhood wounds, or maybe not dealing with your own childhood wounds. Maybe you're a mom that didn't have a support system when you were raising your kids and you didn't know how to cope in a healthy way. We can't change the past. We have to look forward. We have to look at ourselves in some of these things. So number one is spot the red flags. I want you to think back. I want you to think back to when you were raising your kids. Do you feel that you were, or maybe still are, controlling? Are you overcritical? Using guilt in your interactions? Those are the biggest ones here. These might be some of the patterns you may see that you need to address, right? It's one thing to see it, it's another to address it. This doesn't mean you're a horrible person or a horrible mom, but we need to acknowledge these things that we see in ourselves. Or maybe you need someone else to tell you, right? Because sometimes we have a hard time looking in the mirror and admitting certain things. But this is why I'm trying to bring this forward, because I personally was notorious for guilt tripping. My daughter, when she walked away from our family and was living a very unsafe life, and she would beg her to come home for obvious reasons. She was not safe, but also because I thought that she should be home because I wanted her to be, right? I would say, why do you hate me? Now, mind you, most of you know that I also had a drinking problem after she left. That was my coping mechanism. I wasn't an alcoholic. That was my coping mechanism during estrangement, which was wrong on so many levels, but not only for our relationship, but my own health, my own, all my other relationships. But spotting those red flags at the time it honestly was not something I was looking for. I didn't see that I was doing anything wrong in the moment. I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh. I know that some of our interactions weren't fair for her. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just owning up to it. That's just one example. I'm not here to judge you. I've done enough of this of my own, so I'm not here to judge you. Number two is understanding the impact. This is so important because let's say that you could identify these things in yourself in some of these red flags I mentioned. So do you think that maybe your child's distance might be their way of protecting themselves from future situations that might be similar? I want you to listen to me when I say this in love. You understanding your part can open the door to reconnection. I'll say that again. You understanding your part can open the door to reconnection. It might not be on your timing or mine, but it can happen. So for those of you that I have not talked with before and you're looking for coaching, you want someone to walk this road with you, whether it's group coaching or one-on-one, I want you to click the link for the discovery call in the pinned comment. It's also in the description down below. That's a consultation. It's not a coaching call. It's a consultation when you're ready to learn more. Number 3 is reflect and grow. Okay, so let's say now you've acknowledged that maybe you've done some of these behaviors. Again, it's not about blame, it's about growth. And that's a mindset shift that you're going to have to make. Because when you start looking at your own life, healing these past wounds for yourself, so you can move forward in not only the relationship with your child, but have that reconnection with others. We need to stop the negative behavior. We want their negative behavior to stop, but we have to look at our own too. And so that way you guys can come back together the way the family was meant to be. And again, you can only control you. You can only control your side of the equation. And number 4 is keep hope alive. You all know that that's my whole motto, is helping you overcome hopelessness. That is why I do what I do. And so every small step towards understanding and accepting the reality of all of these things can lead to the healing and ultimately reconnection with your child. Again, not always on our timetable or mine, right? Doesn't mean it can't happen. So I hope that gave you some to chew on today. If you enjoyed this video, I want you to click on the video here at the end. This was my last video, and this was regarding talking about dealing with a toxic behavior in your child. So I hope you enjoy, and God bless.